Good morning and welcome to Living from the Heart. I am your host, Tina Thrussell, also known as Woman Who Dances with Light. I am a spiritual healer, a NIA teacher, a mindfulness trainer, a facilitator of interactive, engaging activities and experiences that help people feel more joy in their lives and open their hearts and minds to their true potential so that they can play bigger and shine brighter than they ever thought possible. As the co-founder of Best You Can Be with my husband of more than 35 years, Neil Thrussell, it's my place to be a messenger of the Shin Dao, the way of the heart. And my guest today certainly lives the way of the heart. And she is also a messenger of joy. Viviane Martin is one of Canada's finest vocalists. She is an amazing jazz singer, a musician, a visual artist, a creator of beauty in this life. And I love her passion for artistic expression, and I love her passion for life. And I am delighted to introduce you to Viviane Martin.
Good morning. That's quite an intro. Wow.
Isn't it fun to have somebody say great things about you?
I receive it. I receive it.
Oh, it's such a delight to have you here. You know, I met Viviane. She is the assistant music director at Unity of Calgary, where I am now on the board of directors. And from the first time I met you, you always made me feel special. You know, you were always pointing out how joyful I am and how I bring this bright light. And it's such a gift to be able to make people feel appreciated in that way. And it's so genuine. Like I never felt like you were just saying that. And that's one of the things that I love about you, Viviane.
Well, Tina, it's interesting because I get these prompts and I've learned not to ignore them over the years. So even if I'm at the superstore with the cashier and I look at her and all of a sudden I think, oh my gosh, she has beautiful eyes. I say, oh my gosh, your eyes are gorgeous. Or it's just, spread a little cheer and joy here and there.
It's beautiful. You know, we never know what a difference we can make. Right? Just a little comment can be all it takes for somebody to completely turn themselves around that day. Yeah, there's this story that's been well told many times about this young man who really felt that nobody cared, nobody loved him, life wasn't worth living. He was actually cleaned, and he didn't want to be an inconvenience, so he cleaned out his locker. He's carrying all of his books home, fully intending that this is the last time he will ever need these books. He's going to go home, dump them, and end his life. And as he's going along the street, he drops this pile of books. And out of nowhere, some person shows up and says, oh, wow, are you okay? Is everything all right? Can I help you with that? And helped him carry those books home. And of course, he went, wow, somebody really does care. Maybe I really do matter. And years later, he offered at his valedictorian speech gratitude to one of the classmates who had no idea he had saved his life. And so we just never know. It can be a little thing that can really turn things around for people.
Yeah. And I think, we all get those unctions, those little prompts, and it's for myself, it's being open and listening and following through.
Yeah. And there's a lot there, right? Yeah. Be open, listen. But that's the key point, is to follow through.
Yeah.
How many people ignore those little intuitions, those little gut feelings?
Yeah. And that's not to say that I'm listening all the time. It's a work in progress.
It is for all of us, right? We wouldn't be human.
Oh, what a journey. What a fun journey.
It is.
Yeah, even with all the messy parts, it's yeah.
So I particularly love it from a musical perspective
Mm.
when you're listening and acting upon that. You spoke at Unity of Calgary recently and ended up performing a song that you had just written the night before.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and I wrote the last verse that morning. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was well, and, that's just something, like I said, it's a flow and it's staying open. It
Yeah.
is just staying open, listening, staying open, and the important part is taking action.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the part that so many people I think fall down on.
Mm.
And so what is it that propels you to actually follow through and take action? Like what is it that makes you different from the people that don't?
Well, it wasn't always that way. I think it's a matter of, building up that spiritual muscle. So little steps at first, and then, and you know what? Here's the thing for me.
Oh, Vivian, hang on, hold that thought.
Okay.
Good morning, Jen Stone. She's on and she says there is an echo when Vivian speaks, and they want to make sure that they can hear your wisdom.
Ah, Jen.
So I wonder, do you need to use the headset or
Oh,
does
let me
your,
take it out and see what happens.
yeah, let's see if that's what,
Oh, is that better?
can you let us know, Jen? Is that any better? Probably need you to say more, Vivian. So go back to
Hello.
telling
Oh,
your
yes,
story.
of course. I can still hear it on my end. So
And
I'm
I
not
can
sure what's
hear it on
happening.
my end now too, which I couldn't hear before.
How about now? Do you hear it now? Yep,
No, now I don't.
I do. Hello, hello, hello. Not helping, right?
Well, well, as I said, Jen, if you can type in the comments and let us know whether or not we're still hearing echo, that would be great. We need you to. Okay, so come back to your story. I'm sorry I cut you off.
What was I saying?
Oh,
Oh, still
oh, so I just posted Jen's comment. Love this woman, want what she has. The echo's better, but it's still there. Well, we might just have to live with that echo.
yeah. Jen, you got what you got, and that's beautiful. We all got what we got. We're all here to shine our own light, so you bet.
Yeah, we definitely are. We definitely are. So I had asked you the question, what is it that makes you different from others? Why is it that you will take action when you get those little intuitions, those little voices of the heart?
Just over the years, noticing that when I do take action, um, Anthony Burbage, the musical director, wrote a beautiful song called I Take One Step to You and You Take 99 Steps to Me. And when I listen and take that first little step, it seems like this whole realm of possibility opens up and things just start happening. Phone calls like that start coming to me. Like you asked me to be here and I'm thrilled to be here. It's like, yay. And this is a new thing for me. I love being on stage and singing, but to just actually talk kind of freaks me out a little. And I'm flexing that muscle. So I get better and better and better. And, not beating myself up. I think from a painting perspective, I learned a lot. It was such a great lesson for me because I just started painting a few years ago. And I would paint something and I'd be afraid. And it would be like, after a while, it was like, well, if I don't like it, I can paint over it and start again. I was like, yeah, what a great lesson for life. If I don't like what's going on, I get to paint over it and start again. you know? Yeah. No big thunderbolts come down. And I think it's operating from a place of trust and love as opposed to fear.
Mm.
That's my perspective today. Something could change. Maybe today I get to experience something and I get maybe an even wider perspective. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just typing in a question there about is the sound just a little bit more muffled now that you're not using the headset? It's appearing a little more muffled on my end. So we've
Okay.
got this little technology. Ask it to be in alignment with us. Let us be aligned with the technology. Um, uh, yeah, she said it is a little bit more muffled now. So even though there was some echo, maybe we'll have you put the headphones back or the earbuds back in.
You bet.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
And
And
I'm so
so
appreciative of all of our listeners, viewers for hanging in there as we work through technology. And this is just one of the things. We could get freaked out about it and be going, oh my gosh, how does this look? And blah, blah. But it's life. This is living real life. We get thrown curveballs every minute of every day, and it's how we deal with them that is the indicator of how great our life is going to be or how miserable our life is going to be.
we get to choose. Yeah, all
We
about
do.
choice.
Yeah.
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 And I've been blessed over the years. I've had some incredible people in my life, teachers, mentors. I've taken some amazing seminars that have really shifted perspective. Yeah, and ongoing. Uh, I am a student of life.
Well, and ultimately, we all want to be, don't we? I mean, because if you're not learning and growing, then honestly, you're dying.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah. There's
slow
no
death.
standing still.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. We are not stagnant. We cannot, at least not for any great length of time. Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
We all have those periods, those pauses, right? Where we just need a little time and space to just be quiet and not take action and all of those things. To maybe not be learning but be processing.
hmm yeah.
But that's a finite period and then we step back into getting uncomfortable and growing again.
That's right. I had the opportunity to go to New York and study with a great jazz vocalist, Janet Lawson, and I stayed with her for a month.
Ooh.
It was tremendous, and she was teaching me all these things. And by week 2, my head was so full. I was like, I don't know if I can. This is it. I'm done, kind of thing. And she said to me, you know what's happening? It's like I come into your house in the middle of the night and I switch all your furniture around. And you get up to go to the bathroom and you stumble into the couch and you stumble. And then you get used to where everything is after a while. And then she says, I come back in and I switch all the furniture around again. I get to learn how to maneuver. So, yeah. So it's like, yeah, kind of like walking on marbles at times.
What an awesome analogy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, that's the thing is I get to be kind with myself. And when things seem hard and I seem pressed or a lot of pressure, I get to be kind and say, yeah, oh, goody, I get to learn something new through this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, Joanne Hall is here. She says, hello. So nice
Good
to see
morning.
you.
Uh,
It's fun when we have people join in and comment. I mean, we have lots of viewers who often won't bother to type any comments,
yeah,
but
say hello, ask questions, whatever you want.
yeah. When we were talking, Jen offered the comment that suffering is optional, and that's certainly something that I have discovered. And it was something that showed up in my meditation actually just yesterday morning. I was like, "Yep, there is pain. There is pain in this life. There is no doubt. But whether or not we choose to suffer with that pain is really that a
Yeah.
choice."
Pain is inevitable.
Yeah, yeah.
Suffering is optional. Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, for sure. So this process of going with the flow and learning and growing and seeing ourselves and then redirecting ourselves, that's what defines who we are and what can sometimes actually return us back home to who we really are, right?
I like I said, I've been going through seminars and things, as I'm sure a lot of people do, yeah, just because I'm curious. And so I did go to this one particular seminar, and it was a 4-day thing, and it was like a ton of bricks hit me over the head because I had spent my whole life trying to make everything comfortable. This has to be comfortable. That has to be comfortable. It's got to look this way. So, everything had to be in its place. And I came to learn that that whole lifestyle was exhausting. It's exhausting trying to make everything fit and be okay. And yeah, and it was like, oh my gosh. And it kept me in a place of fear. And so I wasn't moving forward in areas of my life. So learning to be excited when I'm uncomfortable. It's like, oh, I get to learn something now.
That is beautiful because so many people will get stuck in living a comfortable life. And really, there's a misery that's going inside in that comfortableness. And it's just the fear of experiencing something other than what we know that keeps people back. So, I've said many, many times over, and I've heard many speakers talk about speakers on the spiritual path, that there are only two paths, right? There is the path of fear and the path of love. And really, fear is just the absence of love, love for ourselves and love for that one source of all, whatever you call it God, call it Buddha, call it Jesus, call it Lord, to borrow the lyrics of the song from Daniel Nahmad. I call it Soa, source of all. That divine love is there. It's ever present every moment of every day. We may not feel it. We may not seem connected to it, but it's there. But when we forget it's there, then we slip into fear.
Yeah, and fear is very much a part of life. And for me, it's a gift. When I'm in that place, it's like, okay, what's really going on for me? And I get to peel back another layer of the onion and dig in, not always comfortable, and learn a little bit more about myself and be kind to myself and move forward. And not always easy. It sounds so simple.
Simple and easy are not the same thing.
Not at all. Not at all. So, what track do I want to be on in my life? I get to choose.
Of course, you would use a musical analogy. What track? There's this track of music, that track of music. I get to choose.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the tracks that you chose was to get into this painting. And this is if I'm not mistaken, a fairly late in life exploration of your artistic expression.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Although it's interesting how things in my childhood has influenced me, and not even knowing it or realizing it until later in life. I used to sit beside my grandfather painted, and they lived next door to us, and he had his things set up in their basement next door, and so I would go and sit beside him and watch him paint. Now, he passed away when I was very young, so I have a very dim memory of him, although I do have the memory. And so maybe it's always been there. And just a few years ago, I had said to the kids, it might be fun to paint. And so my kids are awesome. So for Christmas, what do I get? Easel and paints. And it's like, okay. So here I go, not knowing what I'm doing, or I have no idea. And my so it turns out that the painting is a lot like the music. I because I love jazz. And jazz is the spontaneity and the improvisation and the creativity. Not saying that other music isn't creative, all music's creative. And there's something about jazz that there's a flow, there's that listening, learning to listen, and responding to what's going on at any certain time. And it's always different. So that's what's cool about it. So the painting is a lot like that. I never know what's going to happen when I start. I don't have preconceived ideas. It's like, oh, try this. Okay, try this. Okay. And yeah, that's just kind of the way it happens.
Well, I was blessed to be at your recent gallery showing, and I was like, talk about impressed. Yeah, I was impressed with the variety of the paintings and yet the similarity of them, and that they were all these amazing expression of emotion through color and abstract. Like the painting that's behind you, that I recognize the style. That's one of yours,
That's one
right
of
there. It
my,
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's Rhythms with Orange.
Rhythms with Orange. There
Yeah.
you go. Well titled. Well titled.
Uh,
And you have fun with it, right?
I had fun with every aspect of it from the painting part and really interesting story because I had the paint and the canvases. I had a friend moving from Calgary. She said, "Do you want my paints and canvases?" I'm like, "Sure." Yeah, like so many gifts and things happening that is like, okay, yeah, I get to explore and have fun.
And honestly, that's the best learning when we're just having fun, when we're relaxed and going with the flow of whatever it is that we're experiencing. I see you having fun up there every Sunday when you're playing your music and singing. It's just it's speaking to your soul. It's so obvious that emanates from you.
Yeah,
And I haven't been blessed enough to see you on stage at your jazz performances, but I can only imagine what an amazing experience it is to watch you there and hear that beautiful voice of yours do that exploration that happens.
well, thanks. And like I said, it's always different because sometimes there's, I'm singing with a guitar player. This sounds different, and I get to respond to their energy and what they're giving and in any given moment. And then sometimes it's a piano player. So it's always different. It changes. And I used to be so afraid of all that. And now I look forward to it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
And
beautiful.
like I said, just flexing that muscle and trust. Yeah.
And that speaks volumes that and I've had this conversation with many of my clients that come to me for Shin Dao sessions. They'll say, well, how do you trust that? How do you know when it's your head or your heart? And I say, well, it's always based on how it feels. If it feels good, it's coming from your heart. There's a lot of doubt and questioning, that's coming from your head. And when you just sit and listen and check in with how that feels, and you practice, like you said, you develop that muscle of trusting your intuition, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah. And for myself, it's how I'm being while I'm doing.
Mm.
It's, what am I bringing to that moment? I mean, it can be, I can cook a meal and I can cook it in resentment, or I can cook it with, I get to do this. So, it's about taking action and it's about how am I being while I'm taking that action.
So, so important.
Yeah.
It's more important how we be than what we do.
Being, it's all about the being.
Yeah.
And the doing's important too. I can't be on my couch and expect things to happen. They might, but there's fun in the doing when I get the being. part.
That's it. Absolutely.
I'm
That
still trying to figure out how I can have fun cleaning my toilet. That's
well, it may not be fun, but if you look at it as sacred service,
yeah.
I was very blessed. Neil and I were both blessed to be on the volunteer team at Warrior Sage. Some people know Satyan Raja and the beautiful, beautiful um, organization he has called Warrior Sage. And I remember volunteering at the awakening of the Warrior Sage and hearing those words from Satyan. It's like, do everything with love. If you're cleaning a doorknob or sweeping the floor or scrubbing toilets, do it with love. And that experience where we had 4 solid days and nights, well, 5 as volunteers because there's the before and after, and just really being in that place of, if I clean this toilet, it's going to be sparkling clean for someone, and that's going to make them feel good about being here. It was such a heart-opening experience.
Yeah.
And so I often will take that into my own cleaning bathroom experience in my home and just know that anybody who comes here, including me, feels good at seeing the shiny chrome and the
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
sacred service.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, sacred service. And your art, your music, the songs you sing, the songs you write, the paintings that you create, they're all a form of sacred service because they bring such joy to
Oh,
everyone who's exposed to them.
well, thank you.
So we thank you for listening to the call to be in that sacred service.
Listening to the call, answering the call.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Taking action on the call, as you said, and being joyful in it all.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. So we're really coming close to the
So
end of our
fast. You went so
time.
fast. Oh my goodness.
I know, it's just crazy how fast it goes.
Uh,
So I want people to be able to hear some snippets of your music and read your story about who you are. And I know that it's under construction,
yeah.
but your website, vmartinmusic.com.
And I'm also on iTunes, so people can go onto iTunes. There's a EP on there for sale. Yeah.
Nice. I
Yeah.
did not know that. There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Having an extended play album on iTunes is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long has that been up?
Well, that was a goal that I had in the last seminar, this seminar I'm in right now. And so that was, it's been there for probably 8 weeks now. Yeah.
Wow. So it's quite new.
Yep.
So it's very fresh and exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was interesting because, well, we don't have time, but anyway, it was a declutter goal I had. And I found this old recording of my husband and I. And yeah, I listened to it and I went, no reason I could make an EP out of this. So I did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
See, just take it action and look what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Okay, iTunes. And it's just under your name, Viviane
Yep.
Martin?
Viviane Martin.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's called Out of Nowhere.
I'm going to type that in. Out of Nowhere.
And the song, I feel like, sometimes I feel like dancing, was all live off the floor. So it wasn't anything we had rehearsed or practiced, or we kind of wrote it as we went. And
Oh, wow, that is exciting.
the whole thing was live off the floor. So
Oh, that's really neat. So let me put that up there on the screen. Out of Nowhere, the EP on iTunes by Viviane Martin. And for those who are listening rather than watching this, because this is an audio podcast as well, it's Viviane Martin, Martin.
oh, thanks, Tina.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for agreeing to be here on the show with me today.
Anytime.
It's just so marvelous to get this much of you to myself. Although I'm
And we get to do something similar December 11th, correct?
December 11th. What's December?
Is that the new hour?
Sorry?
Nope, that's okay.
What? December 13th.
Is it the 13th?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Phew. Oh, wait, no, December 11th. It is the Friday.
Yeah.
Nope. It is. Oh, goodness me. Okay. My brain is all over the place. Yes.
It's the 11th.
Spiritual Networking YYC. You will be our guest speaker on Friday, December 11th. You see, I have Friday the 13th on my mind because this Friday is Friday the 13th. Okay, now we're clear. December 11th. Yes, we're delighted to have you as our speaker then. And that's an online gathering. Anybody who wants to join us, send an email to spiritnetyyc@gmail.com. Let us know you would like to be subscribed to the invitation list, and we'll get you the invitation to hear Viviane speak that day. And that day she gets to just talk and not have me interrupt.
Oh, Tina, you're so inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So before we leave and sign off, I just want to put up on screen for our viewers, and I'll read this for the listeners, that there are a whole ton of these types of inspiring conversations around living from the heart on our YouTube channel, Best You Can Be. So that's BEST, just the letter U, CAN, and the letter B without the E. That's the YouTube channel. And we also have a blog at bestyoucanbe.ca. And there are audio podcasts. I have that little banner there blocking that, so let me get rid of that. Podcast.bestyoucanbe.ca. So 48 episodes to listen to there. And I would also like to share with you that I mentioned at the beginning, I am a spiritual healer and I create engaging experiences for people to open their hearts and minds to the beauty of who they are, feel greater joy. And so if it calls to you to book a Shin Dao, a Heartway session, and work one-on-one with me so that you feel lighter, calm, peaceful, clear, relaxed, then you can go to bestyoucanbe.ca/book Tina. And if you enter the discount code at the checkout, HEART, the word heart with a capital H, you save $20 on your wonderful healing experience. So we are definitely at the end of our time together. So if I pull this off screen, is there a last minute word you want to share with?
Well, just, I just want to encourage people to step into whatever it is that's calling them.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, viewers, listeners, may you have stepping into whatever calls you, whatever brings you joy over this next week. And tune in next week when I will have another beautiful guest on my show, Dr. Nadine Rogers. So, yeah, yay. Tune in.
Get a hold of me if you want to talk. If you're in the struggle, I'm open.
Absolutely. We can reach you on Facebook. Your name, Viviane Martin.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yes, Viviane is open, and I do encourage you to reach out and have conversation with this beautiful, beautiful soul. Thank you for being here, Viviane.
Thank you.
And thank you to our listeners, our viewers. Thanks for your comments, Jen and Joanne. And until next week,